What up, hype beast? You already know who it is. It's your boy back with another AEW wrestling review. All right. So, we just got off of another Dynamite episode of Dynamite, man. Like I said, I love this promotion. I love this show. Anyway, getting right into it. We started off with a 12-man tag between Brody Lee's Dark Order and the Elite plus FTR. So for anybody not familiar with AEW, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks are the Elite. I guess you could throw Hangman Page in there too, and FTR, the formal revival from the WWE. It looks like though the revival is going to be branching off with possibly Hangman to create a new stable, a new version of the Four Horsemen. They were teasing this on Dark. They were teasing Sean Spears as the fourth guy, but I hope that's not the case because Sean Spears really sucks, man. He's one of the guys who came from WWE who I wouldn't mind going back. You know, there's rumors about Moxley possibly going back next year or something like that. I hope that's not the case. And I'm not even the biggest Moxley fan, but I love what he did for what he's doing for AEW. But Sean Spears is one of those guys who I wouldn't mind seeing go back. He just stinks, man. He can wrestle, but he doesn't really put on that really great matches, in my opinion. And his character is goofy, like on that pay-per-view when he had Tully Blanchard on his underwear. All that stuff is silly, man. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of, even though he's trying to be like a bad character with the glove on. Nah, I'm not feeling it. So I hope he's not the fourth guy. I wouldn't mind if it's Hangman, FTR, Cody. Even though if Cody's in it, you know it's not going to be for a long time because they obviously have to betray Cody if he's in it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Elite and Dark Order, about a quarter through the match, Dax Harwood, I hope I remember his new name, pulled up with a knee injury, and FTR and Hangman walked him to the back. The Elite, Kenny Omega really got thrown around a little bit, and then he was outside the ring for a while. This match was interesting. It was a lot of ebbs and flows in this match because at one point the Elite were really, really, really rolling. They were doing some impressive stuff, and then we had the injury, and then they were just basically getting beaten up. But then they still had moments. They still had spots. Nick Jackson had a spot where he took everybody out. When Hangman came back from backstage, he took everybody out. But the way this match was won, Dark Order really took advantage of the numbers, so I thought that was cool. One thing, 10 wasn't in it. Again, I guess he hasn't still been cleared for ring combat or whatever. So they had 9, which is just some random guy in a suit, basically, that they threw in there. But whatever, it didn't really make that big of a difference. Dark Order played the numbers game. Once again, Colt Cabana, I was hoping to see like a big step forward in the storyline for Colt Cabana. They are really just lagging this. Just it's too slow of a burn. I don't mind slow burns or whatever, but it's just a little too slow. I mean, just have Colt Cabana join and start cutting heel promos by now. He's still wearing his. I think Colt Cabana's too babyface. Like so. A heel turn will do his character wonders. So I don't see why they're like stalling it so much. But anyway, it's coming. Anyway, this was a real good match. I love this match. I love the finish. Hangman missed his lariat, a clothesline, and then Brody hit him with his discus clothesline. I love the way this looks. Now, I normally don't like the way he does it with the little spin. Just like I don't like Big Swole's finisher. When you do it like out of a tie-up or something like that, it always looks weird and just too fake. But the way Brody got this one off was outstanding. Hangman missed, and then he did the little. It looked amazing. I absolutely love that finish. So 1, 2, 3. Hangman took the pin. Brody and Dark Order gets the win, and then they posed at the entranceway. I just thought marvelous. I thought that was excellent. Brody Lee, I thought just outstanding. I love that. So Dark Order took another step forward in their storyline, so that's cool. I just love that match, and I don't really like those 5-6 man tag matches either, but this one was good. So I absolutely love this. Then we had a little bit of a downer. Santana and Ortiz and Best Friends. The reason this one's a downer, I don't really like either tag team, to be honest. I don't like Best Friends. I know they're over, so good for them. And Santana and Ortiz are hit and miss for me. Early on, I liked them a lot better. Now they're kind of getting boring. You know what I mean? Ortiz with his overselling and stuff, it's just kind of silly. You know what I mean? So I don't love Santana and Ortiz. So this match was kind of like I could leave this one behind just because I don't mess with either tag team, to be honest. There was a little extra going on in this because they spray painted and defaced the Best Friends minivan, their mom's minivan, which I thought was, cool when it comes to, keeping this feud going. Next, we had a little fight between Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy came out and cut a promo about Sammy. Once again, man, Matt Hardy, his character is kind of dying a little bit. Now he's not doing all the broken masks. Now he's just himself. I can't say I'm super invested in this. I'll say what I said last week. In the match they had, there was a period with Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy. And they teased it, and I thought that's where the money is. So that's where we should be going next, man. I'm sorry, Matt Hardy, man. They gotta figure something better out for Matt Hardy. I'm just not as interested in him in the AEW. Even when he was broken Matt, I wasn't that interested. Maybe it's just me. But I'm not that interested in Matt Hardy. Anyway, he came out. They had a little brawl, him and Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara really got the best of him. He was losing at first, but then he hit Matt Hardy with a chair, opened him up. Then he went on a stage and did that 720 splash or whatever, because it's not a 450. It's like he jumps and spins twice in the air. He does 2 flips in the air almost, or a flip and a half or whatever. It looked like he kind of botched it a little bit because he didn't land just right. It almost looked like he kind of landed on his neck a little bit. But either way, he got up and he was fine, so I guess he was fine. But it was a very sick looking move. And then plus add to the fact that they had, I don't know if it was real blood or like a blood pellet or whatever, the fake stuff or whatever. Usually you can tell because it seems like the pellets are a little bit lighter, a lighter red than blood would be. Anyway, it just looks sick. He hit him with a move, and then there's blood splattering everywhere, and Guevara had it all over it. Great spot. Absolutely great spot. It looked brutal. I loved every minute of that spot. I absolutely loved that spot. So to me, that's an A+. The little is going to keep their feud going. And to be honest, it made the feud more interesting because I thought they were reaching a little bit. They had it going, and then they kind of went away from it, and then Sammy Guevara got suspended, and then he came back, and now they're trying to reignite it. At first, last week, I was like, I don't love it. But this week, it really put some more oomph into that feud, right? And then, like I said, the spot was just brutal looking. You know what I mean? So that's good wrestling. That's absolutely good wrestling. So I love that the little exchange they had there. Then we had the weekly Cody match. This time it was a tag team, Cody and formerly Zack Ryder, also known as Matt Cardona, versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Now, if you watch Being the Elite on Mondays, it's when you see John Silver and Alex Reynolds, you kind of look at them kind of like flunkies, right? Because on Being the Elite, all they do is get slapped with paper every single week, and they're jobbers. They were jobbers before Dark Order. They're jobbers in Dark Order. But I do have to admit, they wrestled a heck of a match. Some of their tag team moves and oh man, they wrestled a heck of a match. I thought this was just gonna be a jobber enhancement match for Matt and Cody or whatever, but it really wasn't. Dark Order really looked like they could very well win. win that match. Now, I didn't think they were, but you never know where the storyline's going. They could. There was a lot of stuff that could happen in this match. Matt Cardona could have joined Dark Order in this match. He could have betrayed Cody in this match. Um, they could have started a beef between them. It was a lot of stuff that could have happened in this match. But just as far as wrestling, this was a really, really outstanding match. I absolutely love this match. Anyway, long story short, Matt Cardona and Cody won. Matt Cardona really was by himself for like the whole like last 10% to 15% of this match, and he won it. So good for him. It looked real good in this match. Um, and then afterwards, Scorpio Sky. Now on Dark, Scorpio Sky has just had a ridiculous winning streak going on AEW Dark, where he's just been beaten. I mean, most of them are enhancement matches. Versus some of those young guys, so maybe it's not super impressive, but he's just had win after win after win after win after win after win after win. Yeah, I can't tell the last time he lost a match. So they were saying yesterday he cut a promo on Dark saying he was the king of Dark and all this stuff, but he doesn't want to be the king of Dark. So he comes out on Dynamite, has a few seconds of screen time, but then challenges Cody to a match next week, I guess. Now, obviously Cody's gonna win this match. You know what I mean? He's not gonna lose the belt so early. But I do think Scorpio Sky was one of the contenders who could have took this belt from Cody. They probably are playing this card a little bit because Scorpio Sky is one of their guys that I know they're gonna give a push. They're already giving him a push. The first episode of Dark, there was a huge part of Dark that was just dedicated to him. You know what I mean? To introducing him to the crowd. So to the national TV audience. So you always knew it was in the cards for him. However, you know, Cody's not going to lose this belt. And then for all my hardcore fans out there, the belt, August 12th is next Dynamite, and that's when the new belt will be ready. And it's going to debut next week on Dynamite. So that's good. I really think they should have made this another theme show because there's a lot. I don't know if the tag team appreciation thing is the theme of the show or whatever, but I really think it should have been a theme show because this is a heck of a card scheduled for next week. But anyway, that's another match that I can't wait to see. Scorpio Sky versus Cody next week. I like both of these guys. So, but the only thing is, you know, Cody's not gonna lose that belt yet. But I can't wait to see the belt because I hate AEW has beautiful belts. Their World Championship belt is outstanding. The women's belt is good. The tag team belt is really nice as well. What else? It's just that because it's not a finish and it looks ridiculous. I think that one dude called it a decorative hubcap or whatever. You know, it's easy to insult it because it's not finished, but I can't wait to see the actual belt. I hope it's really nice, and I hope it's like the other ones. You know what I mean? I hope it's not, you know, a piece of crap with the other belts being outstanding. Anyway, Scorpio Sky versus Cody next week. I can't wait for that. That's a big match. Then we had the debate. I love this segment. Now, one thing I will say, based on what I saw in this debate, Orange Cassidy is not the best mic worker. Now, the fact that he's been quiet so long, if he would have like really, really cut into Chris Jericho in this debate, cut like a promo, it would have been like over 100% or whatever. It was a little bit jokey. Like he wasn't saying anything, and then they said something about global climate change or whatever, and then you know he came up, he said some long answer or whatever. It was funny. It was a real comedic bit. I loved it or whatever. But at the end, I was like, okay, I'm 100% invested in Orange Cassidy if he cuts like a real good promo with this last question. And I was hoping, and he did okay with it, but it was just okay. You know what I mean? What if I'm the guy who embarrasses you, the guy who puts his pockets in his hands? You know, it was okay, but I really was hoping to see something. It don't got to be MJF for last week, but it could have been if he would have said something like what Ricky Stark said last week, or just something. You know what I mean? Because he's been quiet for so long, so it would have been cool if he would have really like laid into Chris Jericho. Anyway, we saw Eric Bischoff in this segment as well. Now this was spoiled for me. I saw this coming. Well, I didn't see it coming. I saw it, on some of the other YouTube channels, on the wrestling websites or whatever, that Eric Bischoff was gonna be the moderator or whatever. It would have been more of a surprise if it hadn't been spoiled, but whatever. But anyway, ultimately, I thought this was a good segment anyway. Uh, Next up, we had Big Swole versus Reba. Um, this match was real short. It was silly. It reminds me of that KT Marshall match from earlier. If you remember the KT Marshall's first time on TV or whatever, he wrestled the same style, like, oh, I can't believe what I'm doing. Reba obviously knows how to wrestle. I believe she wrestled in TNA for a while. She even did a moonsault or whatever. It was I liked watching this match, but it was short. I guess it was just like a quick introduction to Reba as a wrestler. Not a big deal. Yeah, but this was all good. Then we had the main event, Moxley versus Darby Allin. I didn't really know what to expect from this match. It was a real physical match. It was cool. It was cool. It was a lot of blood, a lot of stuff that Mox and Darby Allin like to do. Once again, Darby Allin isn't my favorite wrestler. Neither is Mox. So, it was cool. It was cool. There wasn't much interference or anything like that. There was one spot where he did the cuff. No, MJF came in. That was the cool thing, because MJF obviously would rather face Darby Allin for the title at All In. He came in, interfered, but it didn't work. I just thought it was cool when he did when Darby Allin did the coffin drop on Moxley, and Moxley turned it to a chokehold. I thought that was cool, or a sleeper hold, whatever he did. But I thought that was cool. But yeah, ultimately, Darby Allin took every finisher. He took that power driver Mox does. He then kicked out of that, and then also, took the paradigm shift, but that ultimately got the 1-2-3. It was a good match. It was a good match. Once again, I'm not the hugest fan of Moxley, and the same thing with Darby Allin. I think it's cool that Darby Allin utilizes the skateboard in his matches or whatever, but ultimately, all in all, a lot of this Dark was to set up for next week and also build storylines. But even with that, I thought this was a good episode of Dark. It wasn't as good as last week. It wasn't. It was a little bit down from last week and the weeks before. But I am looking forward so much to next week. I think next week is going to be one of those really, really, really outstanding Dynamites. And then I'm also looking forward to All In. All Out. They're building towards All Out once again this next month. It's their big pay-per-view. It's their WrestleMania. So I'm hoping that they really set up this card. Now, I'm also wondering how soon we can expect the Hangman Kenny Omega thing to take place. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're going to split into two factions. FTR and Hangman are going to go in one direction, and then the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, are going to go in the other direction. Hopefully, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega turn heel, right? We get to see the Cleaner, and we get to see the Young Bucks as heels or whatever. I would love to see that. And maybe we see Kenny Omega start moving towards that world championship, because obviously they're not gonna put one of the big guys over on Mox. Mox is gonna obviously beat all the big guys. I'm sure at some point Archer's next after MJF or before MJF. I'm sure Archer got to be next. He's not gonna win the title. MJF might win the title, but I'm still leaning towards that they're not gonna take the belt off of Mox for MJF just yet. I think we're heading towards Full Gear with the Cleaner versus Mox, and I think the Cleaner will probably get it done, because at some point they got to get Kenny Omega started. So yeah, but that's my Dynamite review for August 5th. All right, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, and if you're not subscribed to this channel and you like AEW wrestling, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. All right, see you next time.